Presented by Prize Picks. $100 match on your first deposit with the promo code. Welcome to Light Years. Andy Lou, we are in the dead of off season. Like it is the dead of off season. So I just want to start with a quick housekeeping note for everyone. Look, we're going to probably do 1 to 2 pods a week for the next month, pending breaking news. You know, God forbid the Warriors do something good and give us breaking news. We'll obviously do more around it. But for the next couple weeks, probably scale back a little bit. And the next thing you know, training camp will be here and we'll scale back up again. But just want people to, the expectations. We're putting out a lot of stuff here. We'll get something once a week from now until the start of camp. Cool. But, one thing did happen this week. We did get one
smile on your face. Look at the smile. I can't wait to see what this is. What is? Yeah.
Night. Oh, you see Steve?
Did you watch? I was at the gym. Got a notification that our guy Steve-O doing a speech at the Democratic National Convention. So I had to turn it on, and I think Steve could easily run for. Not that running for office is a high bar in the world anymore in 2024, but Steve could definitely run for office. And I thought that was a good, solid speech, and caps it off with. I didn't see the night celebration coming. I guess I should have. It was kind of perfect. It was
when he did it, I was like, why didn't I think of this? That was my reaction too. I was like, this is perfect. Yeah. I mean, I don't really feel like getting into politics or anything on that front here, but I didn't know what to expect when I saw he was speaking there. He's speaking to like a national audience, not just of basketball fans. And I think the thing that stood out to me is he's probably still more known for being that guy on the Bulls than being the Warriors coach. Although it's getting close because Steph is such a phenomenon that like maybe it's 1-to-1, but still like people remember him as like the scrawny white guy who hit big shots to win the 97 finals. Like he closed it out with those shots more so than like, he's holding the clipboard for Steph shots.
And the guy who got punched by MJ probably is probably more what he's known for to the older audience, which I don't know what the numbers are or who votes and stuff like that. But I'd imagine, I think one thing interesting too is in a speech. I gotta break down his speech here on today's Light Years podcast, but he brought up the coaching stuff, which I thought was pretty funny. On one hand, they're really trying to play the coaching thing up with what's his name?
Tim Walz.
Tim Walz, right? They're really trying to play that up as like, I think it's to make him seem cool. And then Steve Kerr brings it up as he said, if I were a football coach, I would do this. And then he related it back to essentially Warriors fans telling him what he should be doing on a daily basis. I thought that was the best part of the speech. Basically, it's a point to, all fans do it, but it's a point to Warriors fans, like, stop sitting Steph or stop play more Kuminga, right? Stop
and roll.
Doing this. I thought it was pretty funny. Pick and roll. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was perfect.
It was, and sometimes I forget about this, but like the Warriors' rise coincided with the rise of social media. So they were the most popular team. So he's kind of the first coach who had to deal with like that type of fan noise at mass scale before anyone. Like, it's not like fans haven't been saying that about Phil Jackson or other coaches in the past. They just didn't see it, It's not like Phil Jackson didn't have a smartphone where he could see every idiot saying a comment about him, right? So I thought that was kind of interesting too and kind of funny. Lastly, it's like Steve's, the man has a lot of conviction. I'll give him that. Whether I agree or I disagree with him, he says what he believes in, and I can always respect that. And that goes to basketball too. Believe me, I know that goes to basketball. I know the man believes in his system, and he's going to run his system the way he wants to run it, whether you agree or you don't. But ultimately, like at the end of the day, isn't it better to have someone who like believes in their stuff than someone who's kind of like wishy-washy?
Well, fuck. Let's do it right now. I got two things. So I wasn't here to do the post Olympics podcast, which was awesome. But I think Steve Kerr won, right? His style won. He was right. Joel Embiid, they gave him the confidence. They started him. It worked. It worked in the game that was the hardest. It worked against Serbia. It was perfect. He benched Jason Tatum, and I had no issues with it. I think you didn't have any issues with it. He was right. Devin Booker, he was right. Devin Booker was awesome the whole way through. So Steve Kerr did all the right things. I think you can criticize him for sure, but he did all the right things. And then to your point about conviction, I look at the San Francisco Giants. They have no conviction. They don't, right? Either tank or go all in and try to win. Go get more hitters. Go get more pitching. Instead, they save money at the trade deadline and they lose their best hitter. They lose one of their pitchers, and now they don't have enough pitching and they don't have enough hitting. So it's like, go one way or the other. I think as a fan, right? I think, and me personally as a Giants fan, like, I don't care if they lose a lot of games. At least go tell us that and go lose and then get better. But don't do this in-between shit, and that's not what Steve Kerr does, right? He'll tell you, like, hey, man, I like how Anthony Lamb plays because he makes the right pass most of the time, and he knows where to be on defense, and that's good enough for me. I'm not going to play Kuminga because he doesn't know how to do that. And he tells us that year in and year out, Sam. He has never changed. And that's honestly, right? Like you're saying, it's a good thing. It's better to have that than not.
It's a good point on the Giants. I wasn't really thinking about it till you mentioned it, but like, what type of hitters do they like? What type of hitters does Farhan like? What type of, like, I don't even know if I could say what they're looking for. Like, saying you want Aaron Judge is just bullshit. Everyone wants Aaron Judge. You know,
Yeah,
like,
cool.
you know what I mean? It's like, that's like me going like, you know who the Warriors should get? They should get KD and Giannis.
Yeah.
Like, wow, really really going out on an island, buddy. But like, you know, it's we're in what, year 6 of Farhan running the team. I couldn't tell you what their type really is. Is it like, is he just like obsessed with power? Is he trying to find guys who can run the base? You see no coherent conviction with the type of players they're flying. It comes across like, I'm just throwing shit against the wall and praying it works. Nice. I'm just going to keep calling guys up and pray one of them hits 5 home runs in a week. Oh, hey, Elliot Ramos, that was always my guy. That was always my guy.
Thank you. Seriously. You look at the Niners, opposite, right? Niners do it the right way. Like, we're just going to get guys.
They know what they want.
Yeah. We'll get guys that are run through people and are super aggressive, get hurt a lot, and we'll just win a ton of games that way. I mean, that's what they do. It's honestly, it's amazing, right? So the Warriors,
no one's gonna have an ACL at the end of their career, but we'll win.
Debo, you got 3 more years. Actually, he might not even be on the team next year. But it's like, we know exactly what the Niners want. We know exactly who they're going to draft. Anytime they draft someone, it doesn't surprise us, right? Just it doesn't. Same with honestly, like, it took the Warriors a little while, which is what we always talked about. It's like, why'd you guys draft James Wiseman? It's not a type of player you guys succeed with. What was the point of that? Jonathan Kuminga, like, we'll see, but not really the type of player that you guys have really won with.
And we've done 3 years of it, and we're finally at the point where it may work out next year. But, you know, those were 3 of Steph's best years that you just put an experiment for no reason in the mix. And that's kind of your point. Like, when the Warriors got away from it with the 2 timeline thing, that's when you saw the results waver, when they didn't go consistently. Since then, they've put more of a focus on getting guys who we know fit what they value. You know, we know what Steve Kerr values. Steve Kerr wants high IQ players who play incredibly hard, can hit a shot, will make the extra pass, and he's willing to live with a guy who might be a little slow, who might be a little undersized. And you could say he needs to evolve, have a little more balance, everything, but he's not willing to change who he is just to fit everything in. So
that's the Steve Kerr convo. I think it's good. And net a good thing.
I think, especially, like, you can say this about Steve Kerr, and I know the Niners have not won a Super Bowl, but you can also say it to a degree about Kyle Shanahan. At some point, he needs to win a Super Bowl to validate the whole thing. Their process does deliver results. So to give Steve Kerr his type of players, they win. Period. You know, I don't think for 3 years, he had the most talented squad in the NBA. Anyone could have won with the Kevin Durant, Steph Curry Warriors.
Yeah.
But how many coaches are winning with 2015 or 2022? It's very limited. Especially at 15, I don't think enough credit gets given to him because nobody saw it coming. If they did, they would have predicted it. No one predicted it. There was kind of like, do they have enough offense? Draymond Green, is he really a big man? Like all these sort of things, and it worked. It worked.
Yeah, dude, that 2015 one. I was on Twitter the other day and I saw like NBA 2K did like a Steph era, and like it starts like 2017 or something. It's weird, and I'm just like, did the Warriors now win a championship in 2015? And you know how much better they were than the rest of the league? We were there in person.
Yeah.
You were there. You had season tickets. You were there every game. I was there with the Cardinals every single game. Like they were so much better than other teams. Like everybody listening watched it, so I don't need to like preach to the choir. But the shooting, the 3-point shooting, that defense, the switch defense was it. Bro, we never seen anybody like Steph and Clay on offense, and then Draymond. Draymond was probably the key to that season. It's probably
he opened it all up.
Yeah.
They probably would have won 58 games if David Lee was the starter, which would have blown my mind given the context of all I'd ever seen Warriors-wise. But Draymond was the one who was like, oh, no, they're going to be the juggernaut of juggernauts now.
67 wins. That's how many wins they had, right? Yeah, 67.
I mean, to your point. Yeah. So shout out Steve. Good speech.
Shout out Steve.
Good speech, my guy.
We love Steve.
And, another member of the Olympic team, Steph Curry, seems to be enjoying his summer. I don't know if you saw this. He posted this on Instagram today.
Oh.
Steph, LeBron, KD, caption, same team, winning team. You got a photo of him guarding KD with LeBron watching. God, is this just the number one bromance of the summer? These three dudes.
How come KD isn't a part of it? How come he doesn't post anything? How come he's not out here saying how much he loves? It feels like it's Steph and LeBron. Steph and LeBron are best friends, and KD's KD, man. He's doing KD things. But if we had sat here 10 years ago, hey, let's go back to 2015 when they won 67 games and said this was what's going to happen in 2024, that Steph and LeBron and KD would be best friends. They'd win an Olympic gold together, and they would also all still be awesome at the ages of 35, 6, and 40. What is a percent of that of that happening? Like 1%, negative 1%. Yeah, it's insane. You know what the take is? The true take is that I think of is, and everybody agrees with this, is they for sure talked about playing together. Don't you think?
Yeah. Not even a question in my mind. I think they want to. I bet they want to script it so that their last season is together. That's my guess right now. So I don't know what that looks like, or last couple seasons. I think they definitely want to play together. And I actually think it's all three of them.
Where is the likeliest place that they would play?
Phoenix, baby. No.
Most feasible place. How about that? Like, where would be the most feasible? Because guaranteed. Okay, you're saying guaranteed. They've talked about it. I have to agree. What else would they be doing in France? Where is the place most likely, easiest barrier of entry to play? Golden State,
right? Because they're all under contract, so it has to be a constructed trade where you do someone a solid, right? I mean, which team is going to hold the hardest line saying, I will not trade this guy? I don't give a fuck.
It's the Warriors.
Yeah.
The Warriors.
I don't think Joe Lacob wants to live in a reality where he traded Steph Kerr. Also, what the hell are the Lakers or Suns going to give him in exchange for Steph? AD, Booker, technically that's not terrible, but whatever. No, I'm just kidding. I guess if that's your logic, you got to say Warriors are the best position because they have the most assets to appease the other teams. It would just depend on like LeBron or KD actually asking out, right? I don't know.
mean,
I'm not feeling super optimistic about it right now after this summer of whatever the hell this summer was. So
yeah. I mean, also you would have. I mean, how long is LeBron gonna freaking play for? That's the thing. It's like if the chance
still
for
looks
this to
good.
happen, I know, but if the chance was for this to happen, he would have signed. Like he would have either done it last year. Like if the Olympics were last year, this might have happened. Like if the Olympics were last summer, this might have already happened because LeBron would have been coming up for that contract, right? KD's gonna ask out at some point in the next 12 months anyway. We know that. So it's like, that could have happened. That only requires the Warriors to trade for KD, which KD could just be like, I'm out, trade me, and the Warriors would trade, the six picks for him, right? So I feel like maybe the thing has passed, but yeah, because the Warriors, it would be like another version of the Kawhi and PG, right? So it basically be like getting LeBron as a free agent plus trading for KD. So you trade all 16 picks. It's like you think to yourself like, oh, I'm getting Kawhi as a free agent and I'm getting Paul George from Oklahoma City. I'll just throw all those picks at it because it's like I'm getting two players, right? So that's what I would think of it as. I'm sure that's how the Warriors would spin it, but either way, I mean, you get
after their phenomenal offers for Lauri Markkanen and Paul George. I don't know. Call me a skeptic on them putting everything on the table.
I think they would be okay with, because the thing with the Steph and LeBron and Kerr, I don't even know if that team would win a champion. I think definitely not a favorite because of how old they are. But for Laker, how much money would that come? Like the revenue that comes with that team, even if it's just for a year, is worth so much, right? Versus like Lauri Markkanen and Paul George, it's not really moving merchandise, or it's not really moving viewership. Honestly,
I would have got a Lowry jersey.
right.
Yeah,
like how is that actually selling, right? But if you're getting LeBron, let's just do Steph and LeBron. I mean, it's ridiculous. But if you do Steph, LeBron, and KD for one season, what do you think nosebleed tickets would cost? Like $1,000? It'd be insane. It'd be insane the amount of money that they get.
I just view it this way: as Warriors management thinks one of those guys will potentially shake loose and they can lowball for them so they can keep all their kids. That's where my cynical level is right now. Oh, see, yeah. Well, LeBron's 40, so we'll give you one pick for him. It's a good deal, That's sort of. Your face is disgusted.
I would love that. I think my face is more disgusted about the way the business is done with them. That's gross. But I would love that. I would love. I mean, we all heard whispers that LeBron was looking. There came a report out that Rich Paul was like, I stopped the trade. Or somebody reported that Rich Paul said he stopped the trade, or like any trade request from LeBron to Golden State. I'm like, Rich Paul's not telling LeBron what to do. Okay, there's no way in hell.
This is the second or third time we've heard. Remember at the trade deadline, Lacob called to see if LeBron was really available.
Yeah.
It does, given how calculated number 23 in LA is. It feels like they're laying some groundwork.
It's a little too much smoke, right?
Maybe more so than I thought at the deadline. You said you thought that they were laying the feelers out there. I'm like, fuck out of here. Now I'm like, maybe not. So and then you have to couple it with like all these reports that Steph is content with this team. And I don't think he's content in the sense of like, I've been dying to play with Buddy Hield my whole career. I think it's more he believes they're in good position to get him that co-star he wants. Because he wants KD, he wants LeBron, he wants a co-star. He's like, two of us, get us some veterans who know how to play, and we're good. I'm good. That's all I need, So if Steph is in good spirits about the state of all this stuff, I do think it's because of what you're saying, which is he's got an inkling that one of these two legends may swing loose sooner than later. That or he's crazy.
He is crazy. No. He is crazy. I think Steph would tell you that he thinks the team is currently constructed is good enough to be like a top 4 seed. So I think, yes, he is crazy, but it's part of what makes him so awesome. What do you think about him changing the IG stuff? What do you think about him changing the Warriors? See, that's the part where I'm like, he really learned from LeBron, man. He went to France and he learned from LeBron how to be weirdly cryptic and passive aggressive. Shout out to Steph and LeBron. Maybe they are best friends now.
Yeah, for those who didn't see it, Steph changed his Instagram from a photo of himself with the cigar on that was at the 2022 parade, where it says "Guard for the Warriors," among other things, a believer, father, husband, blah blah. To a picture of him in the Team USA jersey holding up the flag. No guard for the Warriors, just Olympic gold medalist. To your point, this is some LeBron level passive aggressiveness. We have not seen this from Steph in the past. How much you want to bet he's laughing at Twitter right now with people putting him in photoshops of Laker jerseys or people like, no, or this or that? I bet he's reading it all and he's just laughing.
Yeah, man. He's pointing. He called LeBron and was like, yo, check this out. What you said really worked. Look at this. They're going fucking insane.
I have 47 phone calls from Kirk.
I mean, come on, man. This is no, he's not. I mean, obviously he's not going anywhere. We just talked about it, but I think it's funny. All right, we'll get to let's get to some other stuff. But anyway, actually, you know what? Before we do that, Light Years Podcast, we are brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks. With as little as 4 correct picks, you can turn $10 into 1,000. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. I think Tyreek Hill will get more than 90.5 yards in week 1. Aaron Jones runs for more than 66.5 yards. Cook up hot takes with your friends. Win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LIGHTYEARS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LIGHTYEARS on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Oh. You see that ESPN forecast, by the way, that says the Warriors will third most likely team to have a big win turnaround. So I'm sharing it real quick just for context, but which team will make a major leap? So statistically, it's like who's going to have the biggest jump in number of wins. Now, if I asked you that, what would be your first guess?
I mean, I'm looking at this and it's a picture of John Morant. That's pretty obvious.
Okay.
I know it's a great one.
A hint.
Obvious one.
And
the
obviously,
Warriors,
it's
who's
not
number 2?
It's the Grizzlies. It's not so much as them making a leap as much as they'll probably be healthy this year and they'll be good again. Number 2 is the Spurs, which makes sense. They were terrible last year. Wemby's good. They don't even need to make the playoffs to jump like 15 wins.
Okay.
And then third actually surprised me was the Warriors. They won 46 games last year. I feel like to make a major leap, they would need to get well above 50. Like, I don't think going from 46 to 47 wins is like big leap.
Okay, yes,
like,
no.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually very caught off guard because I'm not surprised people think they'll be better next year. I understand the logic behind getting guys like DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, who know their role, whereas Clay honestly did not play good basketball last year.
What is this based on? Is this analytics or is this votes?
This is votes.
Okay, this is votes.
votes.
And who's voting? Who's voting?
It's a mixture of ESPN staff.
Gotcha.
NBA staff. So a lot of analytics guys, some beat guys. It's just a mixture of their NBA staff. Sorry.
I think I know why. Let me take a guess at this. I feel like you have some takes. Let me take a guess. I think the analytics, my freaking Joe Lake up here. I don't think he was lying. I think the analytics really do look at the Warriors and say, hey, you guys are going to be a lot better. Kyle Anderson and DeAnthony Melton are analytics guys. Like, those guys are good in those models. There was an article today John Hollinger wrote, and he's an analytics guy saying, like, the Warriors got a lot better by getting rid of Klay Thompson and adding Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is essentially kind of just as valuable as Clay nowadays per those numbers because Clay's been so much worse now. And then you add in DeAnthony Melton, who's always been an analytics darling, right? He's always been, hey, good 3-point shooter, really good on defense. Like that stuff is gonna do good in those models. So that part's not surprising.
You also, it's worth throwing in, these models assume Draymond won't get suspended for 25 games. Now, you could argue maybe they should, but undoubtedly, if you're projecting Draymond plays 15 more games this year, you're going to win more, right? Like, these are some of the things that get baked into these models. You're assuming Podziemski, Trace Jackson Davis, and Kuminga all get better in some capacity. Doesn't need to be hugely, but like, if they were worth half a win last year, they're worth a full win this year, that type of stuff. So I understand how the model projects the Warriors to be better this year too. But to your point, go ahead.
No, I think that's it. I think that part, when you said it was a bunch of analytics guys that does it, like that part makes sense to me, because I think the casuals will look at it like kind of like, hey, Clay's gone. You guys didn't really pick up anybody. There was no second start. You can get Lowry Markkanen. I guess the question is like, how much better? Like to your point, like 46 wins. Are they saying they see 54? 54. Woo. 54 wins, a lot of wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you got to bake into the model that Steph, is he going to play 72 games again? Because I think he's probably going to be in the 60s, probably low to mid 60s this year. Gotta be. So I'm with you. Like, what is the turnaround? 46 to what? 46 to 50? I believe it. I see it. 46 to 55? Is there something I'm missing here? Is Kuminga and Pod's going to be that much better? Because that's probably where it is. It's probably where the real growth is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm having a hard time, given how good the West is, I'm having a very hard time seeing the Warriors, as presently constructed, being more than 5 wins. If they're 5 wins better, they win 51 games. If they win 51 games, I will be a very happy camper on the show. I'll be like, you know what? That's good. 51 wins would for sure be outside of the plan. That's honestly above what I'm projecting them at right now, just when I think things will play out. But yeah, no, I mean, this is kind of where it's at. To your point, the models love them, love what they're doing. And I wonder how much of this is also baked in people assuming the Warriors are going to make a midseason trade.
Oh, really? Well, that would be. Ooh.
I wonder. I mean, that's the other part of it. Mark Stein reported. Reporting is the wrong word. He opined he thinks the Warriors will get someone by midseason who makes a difference. It's been annoying reading the constant, like, we're waiting for the next guy. We feel really good about our position. We're doing X, Y, and Z. But that's been consistently shared out there. And I will say this, I do see it. Outside of Wiggins' contract, everything on their books is a positive contract and easy to move. You know, you can throw in Buddy Hield at $8 million a year if you need to match salaries, give someone a shooter. I'm not saying they're shopping it, but like they're in a position where it's easier for them to make trades than when they had a bunch of dudes on long-term expensive contracts. Yeah. So they have to execute it. I didn't feel particularly good about the way the summer went with regards to executing the big moves there, but yeah, maybe that's part of it too. Maybe there's an assumption that they'll make some move that matters. Maybe they'll get their Kyrie Irving at the deadline the way Dallas did or something like that.
You think we can just rename our podcast just like Light Years Trade Speculation Podcast? Like, we've been doing it for so long, which is veterans. I don't think anybody does it better than us. Just Light Years Trade Speculation. Dude, what you just said ahead of the game. Nobody's doing it right now. We're already talking about trade deadline people. You know what I mean? Like, you're next show, you're gonna bring up 3 names I've never talked about. That it's good. All of a sudden, we're gonna be talking about fuck man, give me a name. Who do we got? DeMar DeRozan. You know what I mean? Somehow he's gonna be, you know.
Sacramento's gonna become drama, and they're like, we gotta get rid of him ASAP. That's what's going down.
You know, I'm just saying, you know, DeMar, get that second score, throw him out there.
It's in the cards. It's in the cards.
God, he was on the Kings. Oh my God.
Hey guys. And if if we get a little bad injury luck, I'll be pivoting to Ace Bailey, Cooper Flag content within a day. Nah, just kidding.
Is Ace Bailey as good as Cooper Flag?
No. But he is top 5 projected pick. It's like Flag and then a gap for the next guys right now. You never know.
How good is Cooper Flag? Golly.
He's very good. Wow. I do not think someone will catch him. But I remember at this time in one summer, it was like RJ Barrett's the number 1 pick. And then everyone watched Zion play one game. They're like, RJ Barrett is the number 3 pick. So sometimes these things change.
We're not going to compare him to Wemby. Is he as good as Anthony Davis was?
Maybe. I mean, there's
Anthony Davis, man. Sure thing.
As of right now, consensus top pick, and he's been the consensus player of his class for multiple years. He's not like just came on the radar. Everyone's kind of had him as that guy for an extended period of time. You're a type of basketball player.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Really?
I mean, he's everyone's type of who doesn't like a 6'9", 6'10" guy who has first team all NBA defensive potential, but can also, kind of act as like a quasi KD on offense. Like, who doesn't want that? That sounds like what everyone wants at all times. So, well, who knows? It'll be fun to watch him. I thought this year college basketball kind of sucked because there was no prospect. I was like, I have to see this guy. I don't even know if I like him. I just have to see him, that type of thing. This year, I'll be tuning into some Duke basketball just because I want to see, is he as good as the hype? Is he, or is he not? So we'll see. Yeah. It's always good. It's always good when you have some of that, right?
Pods and flag. Those are the future of America, baby. That's
hey, throw Chet out there too. No.
Yeah, I was listening to a show talk about 2028 Olympic team, and they're like Zion Williamson. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about Zion Williamson? The fuck are we doing?
Can we talk about this a little bit? I've seen the teams getting thrown out there, and they're the classic, like, this will not be the team. I don't see a single shooter on this team. I don't see a single defensive specialist. You're making assumptions about, like, I don't know, why on earth would you send certain young guys? Like, I'll tell you right now, here's my prediction. Jalen Suggs will be on the 2028 team. Woo! He is not a name. He is not a name people are talking about, but he might be better than Drew Holiday next year. He's basically Drew Holiday on that trajectory, but like he might have a little more offensive upside just because he's young and it's like I don't know yet,
maybe
that type of thing. I also put a guess that Trey Murphy will be on that team. Because of the young guys, that kid can shoot the fuck out of the ball. And you always need someone who understands. I mean, it's the Klay Thompson role. Klay Thompson played the most minutes in the 2016 Olympics. He wasn't the best player on the team, but he was the absolute best player at the 3-and-D role that they had. And it wasn't particularly close. Like, you want him to guard for 40 minutes and just play off ball and hit shots? I can't think of anyone better than prime Klay Thompson at that, right? So I'm calling it
Suggs and Trey Murphy. You just named fucking
just disgusting hipster. Disgusting hipster picks.
I would rather have those two guys than Brandon Ingram types. My God,
isn't that what it is though? Because everyone's like, I mean, this gets back to the Tatum debate, but it's like, dude, of course Drew Holiday and Derek White played because they know exactly how to fill those roles perfectly, and you have 3 weeks to come together as a team. You don't have 5 months for like a star to figure out how to be a role player.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. I can't believe you said Jalen Suggs and Trey Murphy. It just makes me so happy. It's 4 years from now. Who knows? John Morant, Zion Williamson. Like, bro, is John Morant even the NBA in 4 years? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Is okay, Jaw's excellent. I take it back. But like FIBA, since you can play 3 in the key, is like an athletic point guard who might not really be able to shoot the ball what you want to go with? Or would you rather have Tyrese Halliburton, who can really shoot the ball, playing the point guard position? There's some of that too. Like, there's some of that. Like, do they fit FIBA ball? Team USA, Devin Booker was in every lineup. Why? Because he could shoot the fuck out of the ball, and they just needed guys on the floor who could space it a little bit.
Yeah. I think the other thing is the American exceptionalism was another thing where it was just like, that Team USA almost lost. They should have lost actually against I'm going to say Siberia, against Serbia. Like, they should have lost that game. Mm-hmm. So it's not, you can't just throw shit together and hope they figure it out. I don't know. 4 years ago, is there even a Kevin Durant 4 years from now? Like,
I would not be surprised if KD went in 4 years and he did the 39-year-old LeBron thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, that's the other question. Who are they going to build the team around? It'll probably be Ant which means if you're building the team around Ant, you probably want a little more shooting around him, right? You want guys who can space and just give him room to operate. Are they gonna? Is AD gonna still be there, or is he gonna be retired from international ball? I would think. Embiid, same question. Like, there's a lot of different ways they can go with it.
I think they're in trouble, but that's 4 years from now. Who knows? I just think that I don't see anybody. I don't see a Steph or like you can get Clays. I'm not saying Clay's a dime a dozen, but like you can always get a Clay on that 2016 team. You can always get a Draymond. You always get the Drew Holiday, but you need that super star, and I don't see it. We'll see.
I think it's Ant. I think it'll be Ant. Ant's won me over the last 6 months, and watching the way the old guys at Team USA interact with Ant also kind of won me over, just because it's like Steph and KD don't really rock with guys who are lazy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if they love him, they're like, oh, he's about all the right things. That's all I need. That's all I need to see. Gobert's stamp of approval means nothing to me. When I get the Steph stamp of approval, that's when I know it's real. When I get the KD LeBron stamp of approval, that means this guy's a dude. So
Gobert stamp of approval.
Well, I'm
stamping shit.
Yeah, Gobert and Cat vouch for him.
Yeah. Yeah, fun.
All right. We're gonna end it there. Appreciate everyone. We'll be back in a week.